Journeys is recorded at Doghouse Studios. Keep the conversation going on Instagram at JourneysAvec Chad Jones. Remember, if you like the content, share the content. Welcome to Journeys with Chad Jones. Today is Thursday, August 19th, and in the studio with me, I have Andrew LeBlanc Demers. Take it away, Andrew.
Hi. Well, it's kind of interesting to be here. I've never actually done a recording before. Well, at least a recording for a podcast. So, to talk about me, I think I want to talk about something I've been working on, and my partner's been really great helping me with this, but it's actually tied to why I feel like slightly nervous, opening up to myself and realizing why I do things, and just trying to work through some past traumas is that's been a major focus of the whole time we've been together, but a lot more so lately through COVID. So being in a house, just the two of us, has really helped me learn who I am and sort of understand why I like to do things the way I do and pretty much why I am the way I am. So, for example, I really enjoy caring for things. we have a lot of plants. We have 3 cats, and it's a lot to take care of, but I really enjoy it, partially because I enjoy helping things get better, but at some points it feels like a distraction to not have to work on improving myself because I have so much else to actually focus on. So after kind of realizing that, I still very much enjoy taking care of everything, but I'm starting to take the time to actually focus on myself and understand what I need for me, which has been quite the journey, because all through high school, I never really focused on myself. I was always drawn to kind of putting my own thoughts on the back burner. We moved around a lot, so it was always based on, or everything we did was always based on someone else's decision. So it was always, my decision always counted, or my opinion always counted second. So it's been, a lot of people have really struggled with COVID, and I hope things get better for them, but COVID has actually really helped me improve. So yeah, that's my biggest thing lately. I have started picking up the guitar again, which was something that kind of went on the back burner when I realized there was an issue with myself, but I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself, but I didn't know how to take care of myself. So now that I have some direction, and now that I'm working on that, I find more enjoyment in more of my other hobbies, and I can actually, I'm not writing music, but I can actually do improv again and come up with a full song, at least to some extent. And it's been really nice being able to do that again. I sang loudly, and I actually not quite overpowered my guitar, but at the same volume as my guitar, which is something I've never been able to do. Which is a sign, to me at least, that this past week of working through troubles with my girlfriend has really lifted a weight on me, and I can better express myself. I'm starting to understand what kind of reactions I should have to different situations, and as opposed to how I was reacting to them. And yeah, I'm really beginning to accept myself and love myself, and starting to feel good. I definitely ran out of things that I was going to say originally. I am not overly surprised, but I feel very content with actually speaking out and sharing my thoughts. Yeah, it's like I said at the start of this, it was something I've never done, but it feels very cathartic. And I came into this, like I said, slightly nervous, but in a relatively great mindset. I slept pretty well last night. I had a nice morning coffee. And our friend Chris is over. It's very nice to see him. But I feel almost better now after having talked for a little bit and shared my thoughts on everything that's going on.
With that, we will take a little break. All right, welcome back. I'm talking again with Andrew LeBlanc Demers, and man, I'm really, really glad you opened up. It's really interesting to hear your voice, and you're actually the first male I've done this with, so you're going to be the first one to kind of have that conversation going. There we go. Now I'm loud enough. There we go. But like the one thing you had mentioned was that you're finding ways to love yourself a little bit more. Can you expand on that?
So I was struggling with like a lot of things about myself. One of them was like being tied, or so when you see like the perfect like male image in the movies or everything.
I'm not gonna lie, when I think of that, I think of you, like right off the bat.
I mean, I take that as a very great compliment.
This guy's humble. He's like, my 6-pack abs are just,
well, they're a little squishier than they used to be. But a lot of that was originally because of insecurities. I was constantly trying to maintain that image of what I thought I should be, and not really feeling or doing what I wanted to do. And so, I mean, I still work out a lot. I still really like the way I look. But I'm doing it more so for me, and like more so for my health. Another one of the issues that I was having with myself is kind of questioning sexuality. You always see, once again, back to the idealistic male, straight as an arrow, sometimes dating one woman or multiple women, and all the stories you hear are, oh yeah, I went out with so many women and I've had sex so many times. And I mean, I love Shannon. I'm very happy with her, but every now and then, like, I'll question myself. And sometimes those thoughts would really drag me down, and I'd really beat myself up about them and just wonder, like, why am I having these thoughts? I shouldn't have these thoughts. And so we've been talking about it and working through it, and, well, not really working through it, just I'm actually opening up, and I'm sharing these thoughts, and I'm recognizing that, yeah, these thoughts are valid. It does change who I am, but not in a negative way. Like, it just makes me more so who I am. And that was a really tough realization at first, because it kind of shattered my idea of myself. So Shannon's been very much helping me accept myself for who I am, and it's been really good.
So, one of the episodes I had talked about, I think it was earlier this week, was I was talking about my own sexuality, and I'm not, I don't think I'm bisexual in the sense of, like, I want to sexually pursue, men, but there are things that as a guy I'm attracted to other guys about. If I see, like, again, I think I told Shannon after I met you, I was like, holy crap, man, she's so hot. You're very lucky. And again, it's not like I was like, oh man, I want to, like, start making out with you. It was more or less like I can acknowledge that you're a good looking guy and that you work hard on yourself. And I mean, I would never have guessed that you've had these insecurities just because you have what I would say is, like, my ideal body. But then again, like, it changes from person to person, right? So how do you feel when somebody compliments you and you don't feel like you're that person?
I don't know. I'm trying to actually remember a time when, like, I've received a compliment and kind of reacted like that. I don't know.
Like, I mean, as an attractive guy, I mean, you guys are a very attractive couple. Like, both of you guys are very attractive people. Have you not been in a situation where you've had, like, men, women, doesn't matter which, approach you and, like, you know, obviously there's, like, an attraction, whether it's, like, straight up like, oh man, you're so hot, or just, like, they're talking to you and they're attracted to you and they're having this conversation with this person and they feel validated talking to an attractive person? Because that's how I feel. If I'm at the gym, there's an attractive woman there, or even, like, you know, a guy who's just completely ripped. And it's funny because when you're at the gym and you go to work out, it's not the girls that are complimenting you. It's all the guys, like, oh man, you can bench that? Oh, good job. It's never the girls. But for me, it's along the lines of that validation. Like, I have this attractive person, whether they're an attractive personality, physically attractive, sexually attractive, or anything kind of along those scales, there's that validation. Do you feel like you give people that validation when they talk to you, or do you feel like there's almost a oh my god, what's the term? Imposter syndrome. Do you feel like you're kind of an imposter in that sense?
No, I don't think I don't really feel like an imposter. There was a time when I lived in Kitchener that one of the guys I used to work with, I invited him over to hang out, and he thought it was much more than that. So that, I guess that would almost make me, I could say that almost made me feel like an imposter, but that also just made me really confused about myself and who I was, and if I was giving off that those kind of vibes, or if he was just hoping that's what it was. But that'd probably be the closest I felt to an imposter, just giving him a sense of something that either I wasn't prepared to admit or I didn't feel.
So this might be an uncomfortable question, but where do you see yourself on that sexuality spectrum currently, like as of today? Because you've been having a lot of these thoughts. Where do you see yourself on that spectrum?
Definitely not smack dab in the middle. I think I am significantly, well, at least more attracted to women. I'm curious about an experience with a man, but I'm not curious to the point that I've made any effort to pursue it. I have had a few opportunities to act on it, and most of them were before I really had recognized those feelings or actually started exploring that side of myself. So I turned down most of those opportunities. But there's still that curiosity of it. So I'm definitely not on the far end of only attracted to women, but I don't know. I'm somewhere in between the middle, but closer to the just being attracted to women.
And that's perfectly fine, because I feel like, and again, I'm very male gazy. I know that that's something that I have a problem with, where if I'm out in public and like I'm doing my own thing and I see an attractive woman, like I'll look at her face, I'll look at her, her breasts or her butt. Like I'm a butt guy, so it's kind of hard not to. But a lot of the time, I catch myself and I'm like, should I be looking at this person? And not because it's like, oh, I'm like actively predatory in any way. It's just more or less like, how would they feel just knowing I'm looking at them and kind of observing them in a particular way? But with guys, I don't feel that. I feel like if I see a good looking dude and I'm just like, my jaw's gaped open, like, holy crap, man, how did you make a human being look like you? Is crazy to me. But I don't get that same like male gaziness with men. Is that something that you have with both men and women?
Not with most men. I think there's the odd time. Yeah, there's like, it's a very, I don't know, I'd call it like a very narrow window. But every now and then, yeah, I will get that gaziness.
And that's, I don't know, I feel like because we live in a society that it's become more normalized for women to say like, hey, what men are doing is wrong. And I've internalized like just staring and looking at women as being kind of wrong. But again, it's like, it's not a predatory thing. It's just like a biological thing for me. And it's hard to fight it. It's hard to say like, hey, I'm at the gym, I'm working out, I'm here to do work, but there's a nice view. And again, with men, like I don't feel that same thing. Is that just because there's that gender inequality still? Is that because of just the current conversation? Where do you think that falls?
I don't know. I don't think it's really dictated by like the current conversation. Probably just you're like, I don't know, I assume your interest just wouldn't lie towards men. Like you can, I don't know, you look at like a really nice piece of art and you're like, wow, that is a great piece of art. Like they did a fantastic job of that. you don't want to, oh, I have to take this art. This is mine now. Like you can look and appreciate it, but there's no desire to take it. And then there's sometimes where you see a muffin, you're like, I want this muffin. This is my muffin now.
That's a very good analogy to end on. And thank you again so much for this. You've opened up so much, and this has just been a really good conversation.
For Thursday, August 19th, I'm Chad Jones, and I will talk to you on another time.